He was ready to die until he found our campfire. My name's Jonathan Dawson, and by that winter, I thought I'd seen just about everything the prairie could throw at a boy. Storms, sickness, even the signs of something strange in the woods, but I hadn't seen him yet. It was 2 nights after we found the giant tracks in the snow. We were still shaken, sleeping light, jumping at every noise in the trees. The fire burned low, casting long shadows against the snowdrifts. Ma sat with Annie bundled in her lap, gently humming a hymn beneath her breath. Pa sat sharpening his knife, slow and steady, the rhythm of the blade like a whisper in the silence. Clover, our dog, raised her head and growled. Not loud, just low, like she sensed something moving that we couldn't see yet. That's when I saw him. A tall figure standing just outside the circle of firelight. Silent. Still. For a second I thought maybe I was seeing things. The snow was falling again, soft, slow, and it blurred the trees like a dream. But then Pa stood up. Not fast, not threatening, just calm, careful. His knife held loosely in one hand, ready but not raised. The figure didn't flinch. He stepped forward just enough so we could see his face in the firelight. He looked like the prairie had tried to swallow him and almost succeeded. His coat was torn. One of his boots was wrapped in canvas. His cheeks were hollow, his lips cracked. His eyes, they were what got me. They looked like they'd seen things a man don't forget. Evening, he said, voice raspy and low. Didn't mean to spook nobody, just saw your fire. Ma held Annie tighter. Pa didn't speak, he just nodded, that quiet kind of nod that meant, we'll let the night decide if you're a friend or not. The man moved toward the fire like it hurt him to walk. Sat down on a log. His hands were trembling, not from cold, from something else. Trauma, maybe. Hunger. Loss. He didn't ask for food, didn't ask for a place to stay. Just sat there, eyes fixed on the flames, as if trying to remember what warmth felt like. Pa stayed standing. Ma didn't say a word, but after a long moment she poured some warm broth from the kettle into a tin cup. She walked it over, calm and quiet, and placed it beside him on the log. He looked up at her, nodded once, and took it with both hands like it was something sacred. I had a boy, he said finally, voice barely louder than the wind. 6 winters old. Fever. We gave him a blanket. Pa poured him another cup of broth. I offered him my last piece of cornbread. He smiled, just a little. Thank you, son. Reminds me of the bread my boy used to love. That night he slept near the fire. Clover curled up at his feet, and for the first time in what felt like weeks, I slept too. In the morning, the sky was pale and still. The storm passed. The man stood before the rest of us were even awake. He folded the blanket neatly, placed the empty cup on a stump, and turned to Pa. Thoughtful. You saved me, he said. Pa shook his head, relaxed. You saved yourself. We just gave you a place to do it. The man looked at each of us, his eyes resting on Annie for a moment, then finally on me. Don't forget what it means to be kind, he said, even when the world ain't. And then he walked away, one slow step at a time, vanishing down the trail like a ghost who'd finally found peace. We never saw him again, but we never forgot him either, because that night wasn't about danger. It was about something deeper, the kind of humanity that survives even when everything else is lost. That fire didn't just warm his body. It reminded him he still had something left to live for. And in a way, it reminded us too. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share it with someone who loves frontier tales, and subscribe for more emotional stories from the old American West. Next time, I'll tell you what we discovered when we reached the old mining town and why Pa made us swear never to speak of it again. But that's a story for another fire.